Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're doing a deep dive into something a bit different, a detailed professional profile.
Right. Think of it like looking under the hood.
Exactly. We're trying to really understand someone's approach, their experience, and how they actually help people with some complex stuff, especially relationships and personal growth.
And the source for this is a Psychology Today profile for Deborah P. Hecker, PhD. She's a counselor.
Yeah, so our mission here isn't just like listing facts, it's about pulling out the key things, understanding her particular perspective, what issues she really focuses on, and how she tackles them.
Right.
Basically, giving you a clearer picture without you having to wade through it all.
It's a good way to see what these profiles can actually tell you, if you look closely.
Using it as a sort of case study. So let's dive right in. Who is Deborah P. Hecker?
Well, the profile lists her as a counselor, PhD. And it notes her credentials are verified by Psychology Today.
Which usually means they've checked her license, her degree,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Exactly. And she's licensed in the District of Columbia. There's a license number PRC 140.
Okay. And what about experience? That's always a big one.
It is. And this is significant over 35 years in private practice.
Wow. Over 3 decades.
Yeah. The profile says she's helped thousands of people. That's a lot of clinical hours.
35 years. That really says something, doesn't it? It's not just a number.
No, it speaks to, well, depth. Imagine the range of issues, the different kinds of people, the societal changes she's seen clients navigate over that time.
You build up a certain intuition, I'd imagine, a sense of what really works.
Absolutely. Experience teaches things you don't always get from books. Her education is listed too, attended the Union, graduated back in 1985. So that's the foundation.
Okay, now this part sounds really interesting, her unique approach. The profile says she combines psychoanalysis and couples training.
Yes, that blend.
That sounds specific. Psychoanalysis often goes deep into the past, right? How does that usually mix with couples work?
Well, it's a fascinating mix. Psychoanalytic thinking looks at those unconscious patterns, how our early life shapes us now.
Okay.
So bringing that into couples therapy suggests looking beyond just, say, communication techniques. It's about why couples get stuck in certain dances.
Ah, so understanding the individual histories and how they collide or connect in the relationship.
Precisely, the deeper stuff. And this combination seems to underpin her specific process, which she calls yours, mine, ours, partnership done right.
Yours, mine, ours. The name itself kind of gives it away, doesn't it? That dual focus.
It does. And the goals listed are really key here. It says it's twofold and happens simultaneously.
Simultaneously. Okay, tell me more.
It's about helping people develop their own unique identity, the yours and mine, while also helping them integrate those cells successfully into great relationships, the ours.
Oh, okay. So it's not like fix yourself first, then work on the relationship. It's interwoven.
Exactly. It seems designed to avoid that thing where people either lose themselves in a relationship
Or the relationship fails because the individuals aren't, well, solid on their own.
Right. It suggests strong partnerships come from strong, self-aware individuals who can connect deeply without erasing themselves. It's about weaving lives together, not just merging them.
That makes a lot of sense. So looking at her specializations through that lens, the top 3 listed are divorce, relationship issues, and grief.
Fits perfectly, doesn't it? Divorce is what happens when ours breaks down. Relationship issues are the core of the ours. And grief. Oh, that's interesting.
How do you see grief fitting in there?
Grief is intensely individual, the mine or yours, but it massively impacts the ours. Loss changes everything. Plus, divorce itself involves profound grief, right? Losing the shared life, the future you expected.
Good point. Yeah, grief is definitely part of major transitions. And the other expertise areas listed.
Let's see. Codependency, infidelity,
Very relevant to relationship issues and divorce.
trauma, and PTSD. That could link to grief or relationship dynamics too. Women's issues, depression, stress, family conflict, mood disorders, personality disorders, even self-harming.
You can see how many of these often play out within relationships or get triggered by relationship stress or breakdown.
Absolutely. It shows she's equipped to handle the really complex emotional landscapes that often come with relationship difficulties. It points to that breadth of experience again.
Okay, so who does she work with? The profile says individuals and couples.
Makes sense with the yours, mine, ours idea.
And age groups. Adults and elders, specifically 65 plus.
And it also lists some specific communities she works with or is allied with.
Right.
gay allied, lesbian allied, Hispanic and Latino, and Native American.
So indicating some cultural competence or specific experience there, which is good info for potential clients.
Definitely. Now, how about the methods? Her toolkit.
Right. The profile lists a few. As you'd expect, psychoanalytic and psychodynamic are there. Ties back to her background.
But not only those.
No. It also lists cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, which is, more about present thoughts and behavior.
They're a different angle, more structured, often.
And family marital therapy, parent-child interaction, PCIT, which is interesting given the adult-elder focus, may be used differently, and coaching.
That range is telling. Psychoanalytic depth, CBT practicality, systemic family view, maybe coaching for goal setting?
It suggests flexibility, right? Not just one approach for everyone. She can pull from different areas depending on the need.
Exactly. A diverse toolkit, likely honed over those 35 years.
Okay, practical stuff. Logistics. Where does she practice?
Primary location is listed in Washington, D.C. Zip code 2015.
And there's another one.
Yes, an additional location in Boca Raton, Florida, 33434. On Bridgewood Drive, number 3303.
I got the phone numbers here, too. For D.C., it's 202-410-2671. And for Florida, it's also a 202 number, 256-4669. Interesting.
Maybe reflects her primary base or how she manages calls. And crucially, she offers services both in person and online.
And it specifically says she's been doing telecommuting for years, using phone, FaceTime, Skype.
That's a big plus. It means she's not just jumping into telehealth now. She's got established experience with it. Comfort and systems likely in place.
Yeah, definitely reassuring for someone considering remote therapy. And there's mention of a free consultation.
Yes, a free 15-minute consultation is offered.
Always good. Gives you a chance to, just chat briefly, see if the vibe feels right before committing.
A low-risk way to test the waters.
What about fees?
Individual sessions are listed at $250, couple sessions at $300.
Okay. And payment? Is there any flexibility?
It does mention a sliding scale is available, so people might be able to get an adjusted fee based on income if they qualify.
Good to know. And payment methods.
Pretty standard range. American Express, check, Discover, MasterCard, PayPal, Visa. Covers most bases.
Seems straightforward. Okay, one last piece mentioned in the profile. She's an author.
Right. She wrote a book called Who Am I Without My Partner? Post-Divorce Healing and Rediscovering Yourself.
Wow. That title could almost be a tagline for her whole approach, couldn't it?
It really could. Directly links to her divorce specialization and that core idea of rediscovering the self, the yours or mine, after a partnership ends, reinforces that focus on identity.
It kind of brings her whole philosophy together in a tangible way. Another resource she offers.
Exactly. Shows her deep thinking on one of her key areas.
So let's pull this all together. What have we really learned from this deep dive into the profile?
Well, we've seen Dr. Hecker has this extensive 35-plus year background. That's a huge amount of experience.
And her approach, yours, mine, ours, isn't just a catchy name. It comes from blending psychoanalytic depth with couples work.
Aiming for that simultaneous growth, strong individuals making strong partnerships.
Right. And her specializations, divorce, relationship issues, grief, they line up perfectly with that. Plus, she has experience with related complexities like trauma, codependency.
And she uses a very toolkit, psychoanalytic, CBT, family systems, coaching, suggesting she adapts to the client.
Plus the practicals. Experience with online therapy, offers a free consult, has a sliding scale option.
So, looking at a profile this way, you get more than just facts. You start to get a sense of the therapist's philosophy, their way of thinking.
It helps you figure out if their approach resonates, if it feels like a potentially good fit for you and what you're dealing with.
It really shows the value in digging a bit deeper than the surface detail.
Absolutely. It highlights the variety out there, different ways of tackling complex issues like relationships, identity, big life changes.
Which brings us back to that core idea in her yours, mine, ours model.
Yeah. So here's something for you, the listener, to think about. If you really focus on understanding your own unique identity first, that yours or mine, how might that actually change how you approach building a relationship or healing one?
That's a really interesting question to sit with. Gets right to the heart of her approach.
It really does. And that's our deep dive for today.